Hello and welcome to the Kerry Garden Show here in Boyles of Killorglin, and we're out in the garden shed. Yes, we're here with Miguel, and we've got surrounded by beautiful indoor plants, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And Miguel, my goodness, there is so much colour here. I'm amazed. It's beautiful plants, exotic.
There are plenty of begonias, indoor begonias that are in full flower.
Yeah.
And plenty roses and orchids and more orchids. Plenty of very beautiful plants, hanging ivies. Very nice, very nice and welcoming place. Actually,
Yeah,
yes.
It really does. It's a beautiful little place to go in.
You kind of want to bring a chair here and a beer and close the door.
Or maybe a book. Maybe you can have a cup of tea and a book.
You can have a beer and a book, or a tea and a book, or whatever you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always a book.
Always a book. Yeah.
Lock yourself in. And off you go.
And relax.
You have till 5:30 to stay here.
I'd say good luck with you trying to stay here and hide away from the customers.
Yeah, no.
But listen, we have we're going to cover indoor plants and basically the beautiful colour and vibrancy you can bring indoors. You know, a lot of the time we're always talking about our gardens outside. Here we want to bring the beauty indoors, and there are a massive amount of varieties, isn't there?
There's plenty of benefits in having indoor plants. It's one of them. You're mentioning it, the color. Why you just sticking to outside if you can have something inside? And these very many beautiful, attractive plants that not only color in flower in terms of flowers, colors in terms of foliage as well. You see this beautiful. That's a begonia.
That's a begonia.
That's a begonia.
No
you
way.
have flowers on this plant. You have small pink flowers.
Yeah.
But actually the foliage of this plant is green, silver, black, pink, and red.
Dark red,
I will say. And I don't know if I'm missing something.
No, I think you've got pretty much everything. For those of us who are listening, it is spectacular. Now there is no flowers on it, as you said, a begonia. But when does this flower? The flowers at a certain time.
The flowers normally it should flower in the summer.
Yeah.
But indoors you could see some flowers any time of the year.
Yeah.
You won't expect spectacular flowering like the tuberosa we have in front. That's a more foliage plant.
It is. It's
has
stunning.
Very beautiful pinky flowers anyway.
And there's a green version of it here as well too.
Silver version.
Yeah.
And is plenty more with more as well, silver and orange. It's very many colors, darker purples, many different begonias. Is the polka dot begonia that I gave. I'm gonna bring one.
Okay.
I gave one that I had to Caroline.
Oh,
she works
my
here.
Goodness! Now this is spectacular.
And
wow.
Her daughter asked her if she was painting the dots in the plant.
If it looks like splashes of paint.
Splashes of paint.
You were doing the ceiling and you got a load of splashes on it.
So this plant, I gave her in a very bad condition because my wife didn't want it. I found it in the shed.
Okay.
And I put it back. I didn't say anything to her. I keep it in the shade for a while with a different pot. So I brought her to Caroline, and now it's flowering. She said to me that it's flowering the other day. You'll see in this plant will need a trellis. It will grow mad.
Oh, wow.
It will grow mad if you can find a trellis and you can clip it with a trellis, and it has a spectacular hanging clusters of white flowers. Beautiful plant.
Okay.
It's nearly unkillable.
Oh, go ahead.
I guarantee you that was in the cold in the shed for a while, with no earth, with no pot, until I found it, and it just thriving now. So it's a very nice. That's a begonia.
My goodness, that's
to give you an idea of how many different begonias
types of begonias there are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about the benefits of all of these beautiful plants. Really,
is the feeling of well-being. Not only the well-being itself, it comes with a feeling. All right, it starts. If
it
you feel
makes you smile.
Exactly. So if you have green to break the walls, to break the enclosure, to break the walls.
Yeah, inside your home.
If you have flowers, you can go to Lidl and get a bouquet. It's okay. Just have something. It's beneficial for your mind, for your soul, but it's also very good for cleaning the air, for static electricity. it cleans the house. They clean the house from not only toxins or the air,
Yeah.
but the electricity that is in the houses with all these cables and things. They just soften that down.
Yeah.
So they're very interesting. It's a myth there that if you put plants in your not to put plants in your bedroom, that's a totally stupid thing.
Okay, so you don't see there's no reason why you couldn't put one of these.
Even
in your
if you sleep here,
yeah,
you won't have any problem at
no.
that. So the concentration of the CO2 won't be minimum. You'll be probably sleeping much better.
I was going to say, yeah. It actually makes
but
you feel better.
It's plenty of people that say, no, not in the bedroom. And no, that's a mistake. You can have as many plants as you want in the bedroom.
Okay.
It will be cleaning the air, softening the temperature at night, day. When it's very hot, they will release humidity. It's very interesting. It's no only ornamental, but beneficial in many ways. I have here a plant that I would like to talk about, in fact, about benefits of this plant, which is the aloe vera.
The aloe vera one is
aloe vera one.
Every house should have one.
It's actually wonderful. You can eat it. It's very good for skin problems. Is canker sore or sore canker? Canker sore? Sore canker?
I don't know what.
The cold sores.
Cold sores. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sunburns.
Sunburn. Yeah. Any kind of burn off the cooker or the fire as well.
Open wounds.
No open wound. Okay.
No in open wounds, but in would they have that crumble
skin just on the skin? It's fine. Yeah, cracked
it's
skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can. The way of doing it is when you cut a leaf, you have to get rid of the skin and get the gel that is inside.
Inside it, yeah.
You can eat that, or you can rub it in your skin. Be careful. Try, test like you do with some chemicals first in clothes or something to see if they stain or if they do something.
Yeah.
Try first a little bit because
to see if you can be a bit sensitive.
Some people can have some
can be sensitive
allergic reactions.
Okay.
Same if you eat it. Eating is very good for is a bowel
movement issues like IBS and things
exactly.
like that. Yeah.
Irritated
bowel syndrome.
Very good. But if you eat too much, it can cause diarrhea and cramps. So it's all a matter of logic again.
Yeah.
Probably if you're gonna eat it, better go to the pharmacy or whatever and buy something already done that is the right measurements, the right amount for your body.
For your body, yeah.
Or try with a small amount, see how it fits.
One quick question on that. Do you take the outer leaf? Is it always the outer leaf or what? Because they do regenerate and stuff, but what leaf do you take? Because that's the one thing that always gets me with my
actually it needs to be harvested when the leaf is mature.
Okay, so it needs to be the biggest leaf.
The trick for knowing when the leaf is mature, it has a small rosy tingling
tinge to the top of
the leaf. That will be. We have no one here.
No, they're all very
for
green.
more mature plants.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. It kind of goes a kind of a peachy color, like it's.
Yes, and then you'll see that in the outer leaves. The outer leaves are normally more mature.
Yeah, because the plant grows from the inside out.
Yes, and you'll see the little sprouting here and there. You can remove them and put them in different pots.
Plant them in a different plant. Okay, so
and you can reproduce. There's people that comes here every now and then, trying to sell them. If you buy them and you say no, we can't buy them unless you have a plant passport.
Okay.
Because if
the
inspector will come and
shut you down.
Give us a big fine. Big lecture at least. You know?
Okay.
So it's good for acne as well.
Acne, yeah.
Yeah, I was forgetting about it.
Yeah.
Well, we go into common mistakes or things how to do, what not to do with the houseplants. It's very important. Find the right position. My sister called me the other day, a few weeks ago, months ago, I don't remember. And she asked me about the plant. She sent me a picture of a plant. We don't have it here. It's Paquera aquatica. And she says, what's going on with this? She says, you have it in full sun. And she said, yes. Yes, I have it in
thinking it's the right thing, but it's not.
She says, move it to a shady place.
Okay.
And a few weeks after she rang me and she told me the plant was fantastic.
Okay.
So it's very important to read the labels, to find some information. If you cannot find it in the label, find it online. If you're not online, find someone that
Knows
that
like
is
someone
into
like
that.
yourself, yeah.
And find the right position for the plant. That begonia, for example, won't like full sun.
Okay.
And you could say, well, it's a begonia, I'm
color,
gonna put it in the... No,
Yeah.
that will burn the leaves, will bleach the leaves, the plant will be struggling, she will be not happy.
Okay, right.
So find the right position for the plant, because it's very common putting a plant. One thing, very important. Light or low light doesn't mean no light, okay?
Okay.
So when a plant is grown under a canopy in the forest in South America, doesn't mean that it don't get any light.
Any light, yeah.
So don't put a plant in a bathroom with door closed with no windows. That plant will die. And it's gonna be gonna have an hour of light when you go to have a shower. That's not enough.
Okay.
So bathroom plants like ivies, trailing plants, these are shady. They can do, these ones in particular, they can do in full sun as well. They like not full sun, partial sun.
Partial sun, okay.
But they won't do in full darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people
well, I
tend
suppose
to,
really you have to think of these are house plants. So if in your house, no room in your house is going to see full sun all the time. But it's important, as opposed to, as you said there now, as in it needs to be in a corner where the light will come into the room, but it won't be directly on it, hitting it directly.
Hitting it directly. Same with orchids. Orchids are grown on the branches, on top of the branches of large trees in the forest, and they don't like the full sun. They can take a few rays, but it's not a full sun plant. None of them, probably excepting Ficus benjamina, and a few more that are large trees in nature. That's a full sun plant.
Okay.
Ficus elastica is called the latex tree, or I don't know how do you call it here in Ireland. So many common names.
A rubber tree, is it?
Rubber tree.
The rubber tree. That's
rubber
it.
tree.
Yeah.
Full sun.
Full sun. Okay.
But the fiddle tree, which is Ficus lyrata, doesn't like full sun.
Okay.
So
that's very important.
Very important. Then, right amount of water. People, we have talked about this. It's very, very, very common. The process is this: you start or not watering or overwatering the plant.
There's a reaction.
If you doesn't water the plant and then you go and soak the plant, it has a reaction. If you overwater the plant, it has a reaction and it will start wilting.
Okay.
Why people tend to think that it's not giving enough food.
Yeah.
So they feed the plant. The plant struggles more. They cannot uptake those nutrients, those salts. It struggles more. So you water it a little bit more to see if you can give it a little bit good, make it good to the plant. The plant is getting worse, so you add more food. So you're killing the plant.
Absolutely. So killing
It's believe it or not, is a very common mistake. So the right amount of water is essential. Is not soaking the plant, not having common sense. Is not a rule of thumb. In summer, you'll have to water them more often than in winter. But just have a look at the plant, at the compost. Have in mind that begonias can have little water, and roses will need more water, or orchids will need some moisture. But a little bit of interest in the plant you're buying.
Yeah.
Or before or after. When you buy a plant, do some research, put it in the right place, the right amount of water, nutrients. That is in a small pot doesn't mean that it's a small house plant, doesn't mean that don't need nutrients. You cannot probably give it tomato food, but it's plenty of
So there's actually specific indoor food.
food
Yeah.
that is less powerful, less strong.
Yeah, because everything, as you said, is
weaker.
Their whole world is literally their pot. They're not going to be taken out of this pot, so that's the options. Okay, and there are lots of go on.
They need transplanting. That's another common mistake.
All right.
Okay. And now, when you transplant this plant, sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're okay.
if you transplant this plant, don't use any compost. Don't go and get a bag of Jack Magic or seaweed-enriched compost. No.
Right.
Use the right compost. If it's an orchid, use potting mix for orchids. If it's a houseplant, regular houseplant or citrus, they need specific soil.
Okay.
Not specific is you make sure that you're giving the right soil to that plant. Okay? Check the soil where the plant is. Trying to find something similar.
So would that be when you take it home, Miguel? You transplant it, is it, or is it something you do every year?
Not necessarily right now, but see, roots
as it gets
here,
bigger.
no?
Okay, yeah. You'll need
So
to get
you
into a bigger
don't
pot.
need to transplant it immediately because it's no roots. But eventually you'll have to transplant it. Problems or plants you shouldn't transplant or you shouldn't transplant very often. Example, orchids.
Okay.
Orchids, plenty of people that come and want and get an orchid potting mix and get a bigger vase, a bigger container. It's better keeping that plant in the same container, cleaning, so we have an orchid somewhere here.
Yeah. Beautiful purple and yellow orchid here. Yeah.
See this? Beautiful. That's healthy. That's healthy roots.
Green roots.
Green roots. Healthy roots. That's the way it should be.
And they naturally they wrap themselves around trees, don't
in trees.
In the wild.
These ones, Phalaenopsis, you see they are in transparent pods. They like to be exposed to the air. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what happens if you transplant this is those roots are gonna die.
Okay.
Those healthy roots are gonna die until the plant develops a new root system. It's gonna take a while.
Okay.
It's gonna grow, it's not gonna flower. Till you don't see the roots again showing out, you probably won't see any flower in that plant.
Okay.
That's we could do a specific program
just
about
on orchids. Yeah,
no?
I think we have
plenty of tricks of orchids. We could do one actually.
Yeah, maybe we might look at because literally we're running out of time and the amount of
we're running out of time.
We are already.
Me?
I'm not kidding you. No. Because I just wanted to bring up just again to showcase the different varieties. Like some of these plants here, Miguel. Talk to me about these two because these just took me.
So that's an Ichmea, that's a Briacea. They are all epiphytes plants. They are similar to orchids. They live in forest, they live on top of trees, they live in organic matter, in organic debris that
okay, so it's not actually soil.
Are falling from.
Because these are like red spears that are just coming up out of a real dark green kind of and light green.
So
and this is just a beautiful
kind of. This is watering them here. You see those water there.
Yeah, there's little pockets.
See,
so that's like them gathering the rain.
That's the way you should water them. Yeah, actually, very spectacular plants.
Yeah. And we also have roses. You've already mentioned as well. There's beautiful yellow roses here down the front.
Those are begonias.
Down there?
Those are begonias.
Oh my goodness.
We have indoor roses. Right. Very
indoor
beautiful.
Roses, yeah.
Beautiful. They like sun.
Yeah.
Well, they like have a little bit of full sun. Not. I just said there's no house that has 24 hours.
No, there isn't. No, definitely not in this country.
They wouldn't mind a few hours of sun.
Yeah.
These fellas, even if they can do in partial shade, it's not. They should get a little bit. These fellas, no. You will see in the label. It will be a warning. See a warning for the full sun.
Not
no
full sun. Yeah.
So please read the labels. Do some research. There's plenty of different types of orchids as well. That's a Cambria. See, this one is not a transparent pot. See?
Yes.
So
okay.
For be a little bit of logic. You can transplant this. The way of watering this is submerging once a week. The way of doing this will be from the top. You can submerge a little bit. Be careful. Runoff. You have to leave. They don't like being sitting on water. You can put a little bit of grit in your tray.
Okay.
If you want, and put them on top. But if you have a tray, empty the water after you water them. They don't like being sitting on top of water. That's a big, interesting world, orchids. I love them.
Yeah.
Well, I love everything.
You just love everything in this garden center, yeah.
Cacti.
But even, as you said, even the cactus who gets a bad rap, but there's some beautiful different types as well too.
This purpley, I don't know what is this thing.
I got this one. You grab the yellow one. Grab the yellow one there as well, which is, I think, another very unusual. This is fantastic. Beautiful
It's a hippie
yellow
cactus.
a hippie cactus. It looks so it's so different. It looks really,
Yeah.
really nice. So that's the cactus world is I'd say another world as well, isn't
big
it?
world, big world. Actually,
Yeah.
yes.
And underappreciated.
Yeah, people just leave them there. You can transplant them as well. I have one. My sister-in-law brought me one once. She was visiting us. It's a very small one, and now it's 20 or 25 centimeter high, very big, a big flower.
Yeah.
Every now and then,
Yeah.
they grow. They like being transplanted as well. But they're very interesting. They are very low maintenance.
Low maintenance, yeah.
They do-
They can be beautiful, as I said. We just showed you two beautiful
some
ones
of them
there,
are spectacular.
and then other ones are just a bit prickly.
Yeah, well, to keep children away.
Put them around your
Back.
favorite. Put them around your
Hedging.
favorite things.
You are hedging.
Yeah, it's like you're hedging. And of course, there is lots of ferns. There's lots of lilies. There's
Lots
some
of green foliage,
beautiful
yeah.
green foliage and the ivies, as you mentioned. There's lots of things that you could
lilies,
add to your home. So listen, this is literally just the tip of the iceberg. We
Yes.
definitely might come back and look at that orchid show for another time, Miguel. But for now, that is pretty much all we've got. We've just had the tip of the iceberg. Hopefully you have got plenty of ideas and will come in to see some of these beautiful plants in your local garden centre, or of course here in Boyles of Killorglin, where there's a fantastic selection, and of course the lovely Miguel. That's pretty much it for this week. Thanks again for tuning in,
Thank
and
you.
we will talk to you next week. Until then, happy gardening.